YouTube, this is Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here for LinuxMusicStudio.com. Today I have another product review for you. This is a Vivitar wide-angle lens for a Canon PowerShot SX series, like the SX40, which is what I have, SX60, SX50, HS, SX240, and all of those. They're all listed in the description of the actual lens, which you can find down below via Amazon link. And this thing is pretty cool. I wanted it because I basically do a lot of drumming videos in my studio, my drum room, which is very, very small. And if you've seen any of my videos in there, you've noticed that one of the cameras, I often have a fisheye lens just to capture everything because I can't put it very far away. And I wanted another lens for this camera so I could use this as a second camera in there. So I found this one, and it actually is a lot closer to a fisheye lens than a wide-angle lens, and I'll show you what I mean once I show you the footage. But it's a pretty cool lens, and it snaps on there, well, actually screws on. It has, the way this works is actually pretty ingenious because these cameras aren't designed to have any other lens other than the one that it came with, which is that. But Vivitar made this little ring, this like adapter ring, that fits, like they designed it just perfectly to fit on these little ridges that are on the end of the SX series. So it just snaps on there, and then the Vivitar lens screws right into that adapter. And this is pretty neat because now I can have this wide angle lens on the Canon SX40, and if I turn it on, you can see that it just turns on normally, and it gives it this, you know, this big lens on the end there. And then if you look through here, you can see, kinda, that there's a fisheye looking lens there. But I'm gonna show you some real footage here in a little bit. And one of the things I noticed though that's a little bit weird is, well, a couple of things that people may not like. For me, I actually really like it. It just depends on what you're looking for. But the fact that it looks more like a fisheye than a wide angle, like you can see the border around the edges of the screen, like a fisheye, that's because it is so wide that it actually, you know, you can see that, and only a really, really wide angle lens will do that. So some people may not like that. You can always crop that out, so that's not really a problem in today's technology. But the other thing, and this is a little bit weird to me, is when you're walking and shooting video with the fisheye on, you have sort of some weird things happening, and I'll show you what that is here in a second when I show you the test footage, as well as explain what's actually happening. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool, it's a pretty good deal. It's only 20 bucks. So yeah, for me it's fine. And I haven't tried it in the drum room yet, but I'm gonna do that soon, maybe in the next couple of days, and post some. Probably one of my next drumming videos will have this in it. So anyway, let's get to the test footage and you guys can see it for yourself. So you can see when I'm standing still, it's not shaking, or the lens doesn't appear to be moving. But as soon as I start to walk, if I can cross the street here, as soon as I start to walk, you see the lens kind of moving back and forth. Now at first, I thought that was due to the to me walking and just the lens shaking loosely on the camera. But that's actually not what it is. It's the image stabilization on the camera itself, because this lens screws on to the existing lens of the camera, so the image stabilization isn't working with the lens that's screwed on the existing lens, since the SX40 doesn't have the ability to change different lenses. So it's kind of a I don't know, it doesn't really bother me too much, but it's something you should keep in mind if you do want to get one of these for your SX or PowerShot camera that has image stabilization. The other option would be to turn off the image stabilization, but of course then you're going to have a shaky cam. So I don't know, it doesn't really bother me, and most of the time I'm going to be using this is going to be in a stationary you know, tripod setup in my drum room. So I don't know, but I do kind of like the ability to use it when I'm doing these kind of videos as well, because you can see a lot of the scenery and landscape around me, or cityscape, which is pretty nice. But yeah, overall though, for like 20 bucks, it's a nice addition to this camera. And I still use this camera quite a bit, because my other camera I don't like to carry around with me in my backpack, because it's like, you know, like a $700 camera. So this one is much cheaper, and it's a lot easier to take with me on the go, and I don't have to worry about it as much. So anyway, yeah, that's that. Alright, so this is some macro testing, and as you can see, the same thing is happening when I'm moving the camera as when you're using the fisheye. You get that sort of bouncing around of the edges, but you can see that it does work, being able to focus in very close to this headphone. You know, this is just a standard 1/8 inch headphone plug. So it's, let me get under some light here, you can see this better. Yeah, so you can see that it is quite crisp. So yeah, for macro shots, that's pretty cool. I don't think, you know, I really never use macro. I don't really have a use for it. Some people might, but maybe I should in some, you know, more like video. Oh wow, I'm actually touching the lens right there. But yeah, maybe if I were doing more creative work, then I would use that. But for right now, I don't really use macro that much, but you could see close up of my dry skin. But yeah, so it works pretty good for the macro, about equally as well as it does for the wide angle / fisheye lens. And yeah. Alright, so that's all for this product review, and like I said, this is the Vivitar wide angle professional HD lens. I don't know why they call it HD, has nothing to do with HD, but yeah, not bad for 20 bucks. You know, I mean, you don't expect like some like amazing lens, but it does its purpose and it does it fairly well. So anyway, if you want to check one out, the link's down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon.